Good morning. This is your daily weather briefing. Continuing to see those temperatures hovering around 57 degrees with cloudy conditions and fairly light winds with some light rain continuing around the area. Overall, we'll continue to see a chance of rain moving through our region as we push through our morning hours. Low end chance of seeing some lightning in the area as well, but as we get into the afternoon, we'll start to see rain chances moving off the coast, and we'll start to gradually see some breaks in the clouds, but we will see winds start to increase as we see those clouds breaking up. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, we do have this boundary that is pushing through the area this morning. That's going to continue to push eastward, and behind it we'll see a period of that tighter pressure gradient over the region. It's going to ramp up those winds, and then eventually this area of high pressure will build in, setting up for some quiet weather as we move into Tuesday and Wednesday. If we take a look at the upper level winds from this morning's sounding, had some northerly winds near the surface, 18 to 19 knots, coming westerly and then southwesterly to south-southwesterly as we get up through the mid and upper levels here. Our peak wind was 98 knots at 25,000 feet. Freezing level this morning was at 9,800 feet. We look at the current local radar here. We can see some light returns still continue to push through the area. Bulk of the heavier activity as well as the convective activity is now off the coast, but we will continue to see the shower activity as mentioned as we move through the morning. Overall remaining fairly light. We can't rule out about a 20% chance of maybe a heavier shower, possibly even some lightning moving through the area. If we zoom out, look at the broader picture here with the visible satellite composite radar, we can see again the bulk of the activity off to our east, but still continue to see some shower activity off to our west and southwest. Is going to be tracking east-northeast as we move over the morning hours, keeping that chance around for some precip, and then breaks in the clouds well behind the front with those breezier conditions. If we look at the high-res model as we move through the day today, again, model's picking up well, indicating that the shower activity again pushes off the coast as we get into the afternoon. We'll see those winds starting to ramp up, but continuing with dry conditions and setting up for a couple days of dry weather and fairly quiet weather as we get past early Tuesday morning, when we'll start to see those winds settling down. If we zoom out here, starting on Tuesday again, still dealing with a tight pressure gradient as we move through Tuesday morning, and then we'll see high pressure building in as we get into the afternoon time frame. We'll start to see those winds lightening up. So a chance of seeing a wind advisory early on Tuesday briefly, and then I should see those winds settling as we go into Tuesday evening. And we'll see dry conditions and quiet conditions Tuesday into Wednesday. And as we go into the day on Thursday, we'll start to see another area of low pressure tracking well to our north. It's going to bring a boundary into our region. It's going to be our next best chance of seeing some precip moving into the area. Looks like this precip will be moving in for the later part of the day on Thursday and continuing into the evening. Pretty good agreement with the modeling here of the shower activity moving through, and could see a slight chance of a thunderstorm with this activity as it pushes through. Behind the front, we'll see lower thickness values here, indicating some cooler air moving in for Friday, back to more seasonable temperatures. But then we'll see that rebound as we go back into the weekend with those thickness values once again rising with milder air moving in. Next chance of rain could be Saturday evening, as you see the European model here is indicating maybe a short wave quickly swinging through the area for the evening time frame, bringing a few light showers. GFS not on board with this, so not a lot of confidence in that, but that would be potentially another chance of precip, but again, not looking over very likely at this time. And then rounding out the weekend with some dry weather and quiet weather once again. So looking at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, we do have that red risk for precip this morning, yellow for the lightning threat. Again, about a 20% chance of that, but most likely we'll just be seeing light rain showers pushing through the area. Do have an orange risk for those winds that are above 25 knots, as we do expect those winds to start to increase as we get behind the shower activity, increasing to a red risk as we get into the afternoon time frame, expecting peak gusts up around 28 knots this afternoon. Again, as those showers push off, we start to see those clouds breaking up with some additional sun. That's going to allow those peak gusts to increase. Likely seeing our high temperature right now 57, which is kind of what we're seeing right now and holding, and we'll see that staying in the mid 50s as we move through the afternoon time frame before it starts to fall, going into the evening with the breaks in the clouds. We'll see our low temperature around 34 degrees for Tuesday morning. We'll continue to see breezy conditions into the evening, dropping down to an orange risk as we pass the 20 local time frame with those peak gusts up around 26 knots, and then dropping down to around 20 knots as we get into the start of the day on Thursday with mostly clear skies. Tides are running normal. As we look at the extended forecast here again, Tuesday will be a pretty nice day, mostly sunny, highs in the upper 50s. We'll have that chance for a wind advisory early with possible peaks in the winds as sunrise and the day gets going, but we'll see that pressure gradient weakening as we move through the day with those winds backing off as well. Wednesday looks like another nice and mild day with mostly sunny to partly cloudy conditions. Next chance of rain moves in as we get into Thursday. Mild conditions ahead of that boundary moving into the area. Looks to be about a 70% chance of seeing rain. Again, looks like that's going to arrive later in the afternoon and continue into the evening, and we'll see a chance of a thunderstorm once again with that activity and breezy conditions out ahead and behind the front. Going into Friday, again, breezy conditions behind the front. Temperatures cooling down for our highs into the mid 50s, so that's more seasonable for this time of year. And then going into the weekend, continue to see some breezy, mostly cloudy conditions as that short wave moves through on Saturday. Looks to be about a 20% chance of rain at this time. Again, not a lot of confidence or agreement with the modeling for that rain chance on Saturday. And then once again, things will quiet down as we move into the end of the weekend with partly cloudy conditions and temperatures in the upper 50s. That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.